Hey everyone, we're here today at this beautiful, luxurious rooftop greenhouse here in New York, and quite frankly, I can't believe this place even exists. But we're here to demo something new, the Cooke AP3 Anamorphic series of lenses. This is the 35mm right here, but we have 3 lenses today. We also have a 50 and an 85mm. So we're gonna use them here to capture this incredible organic texture, the colors, the highlights that are just popping through the rooftop. Now you might remember a few years ago, Cooke also released the SP3 line of lenses. Those are of course just standard spherical lenses. They inherited some of the characteristics of the Pancro series and were intended to cross-cut between them. They are of course a more accessible entry into the Cooke look for people who are maybe beginning their cinematography journey. And it's the same story here with this new series, the AP3. They're borrowing from the Anamorphic series. They are meant to be matched with those series if you need to cross-cut between them. And what makes them special is that these are full-frame 1.5 times anamorphic squeeze lenses, which makes them ideal for 16:9 sensors like the one found here in the Sony FX6. Now we also have an FX3 with us, but really this could be used on any 16:9 base sensor, or even if you have another sensor that's a bit taller than that, like a full open gate style, just shoot in the 16:9 mode and these could be perfect for you. But let's begin. We're gonna jump right into a demo, shoot a little montage of someone tending to the garden so we can really see what this looks like. So we're gonna start with the 35mm lens today. And as you can see, it comes standard with the E mount. That's why we have the FX6 here, of course. But this is user replaceable to the RF, L, or M mount, so you have a lot of options and flexibility when it comes to using these lenses. So let's just pop this right on, and we will get started. I already have everything mostly set up here, which is a key part of a cinema lens design, as all of you probably know. But just to go over it, these all have the same equidistant rings, so the focus ring and the aperture ring are in the same place for all of the lenses. Even though the lenses themselves are a little bit different in length, the rings are always going to be in the same spot. So that means the follow focus that I already have here can stay where it is and just needs to be pushed back onto the lens itself. So let's take the cap off and see what we're looking at here. But right before that, just take a quick look around the barrel of the lens. You can see we have these nice readouts, distance markings in both imperial and metric across the lens, so works all across the world. And then you also have up to T2.4 on the aperture. Now that's across the line, so all 3 of these lenses go to T2.4, which means you can get consistent results if you want to go that shallow. I tested this out just before, and I'm actually going to go with a T4 for this today. Just get a little deeper focus, helps us out a bit as we move around. But on top of that, we have a very bright situation, so even though I do have NDs, I want to control the light just a little bit. Yeah, we'll practice it. Once she gets to the top, I'll pan to the left. And action. You have free reign. If you want to observe anything, we're good right there. Come a little bit more to this side. Yep, I'm going to do this in slow motion. And cut. So we just finished shooting, and I gotta say, these lenses look incredible out here. I was reviewing the footage, and obviously as I'm shooting it, I'm seeing the results in front of me, and it's just so lush and organic. It feels natural. You're not getting a clinically sharp lens here, to be clear, but that's all by design. There's a lot of intentionality behind these lenses, and of course it's consistent across the board. Now, what do I mean by that? So the image has a noticeably sharper center than the edges, so you're going to get things like fall off from the focus range. Even when it's in focus, the edges are always going to be softer, and that's okay. But you do get a very, very smooth defocus rendering across the image, which means that those out of focus regions blend in very nicely to the in focus regions. They're gonna wanna have that kind of smooth fall off. And speaking of fall off, you get really good highlight roll off here. Now, to be fair, the camera we have has a lot of latitude. You get some pretty forgiving highlight roll off, but the lens still does play a role in that. And that's important because we have very harsh direct sunlight today. We have no diffusion other than what you see on the rooftop here. And that means that we don't really want a contrasty look at all. We want something that's a little lower contrast, a little less clinical. Focusing was great, especially up close. I had a lot of moments where I did rack focuses between very close subjects and far away subjects. I don't have any numbers on that for you, but I was pretty impressed by the performance. And on top of that, all of those rack focuses exhibited practically no focus breathing, which I would expect from this, but it's always nice to see. So these are anamorphic lenses. You are going to get distortion. That is just the name of the game with these. Now, the widest end, of course, is going to get the bulk of that. The 35mm, which we were using in the beginning of the shoot, exhibited the most obvious distortion. That was to be expected. Once I went into the 50mm, it pretty much disappeared. And that's not too surprising because these are 1.5 times, not 2 times. So you get a little less of that effect. And that kind of helps balance the appearance a little bit. So these lenses on a 16:9 sensor, you don't really get the same level of distortion as you would with a typical 2 times anamorphic lens. So overall, fantastic, beautiful image. I'm so glad I got a chance to use these because I could see these on pretty much any cinema style shoot. So that means, of course, movies, short films, commercials, music videos, things where you have that level of control, that production ability. I would absolutely reach for these in a heartbeat. So that is it for our time with the Cooke AP3 anamorphic lenses. Let us know how you could use them in your next production in the comments below. My name is Doug with B&H, and I'll see you next time.